Okay, I think we are hitting record, and so let's go ahead and get started while people are jumping on. I want to welcome everybody. If you don't know my name, I'll just tell you real quick. I'm Shauna Mucklow, Hastings, Nebraska, Elite Pro 7, been with LifeVantage for, this is my anniversary month, 3 years. I can't even believe it, 3 years. What a blessing this last 3 years has been. But I am going to introduce to you right away Miss Chris Cedarstein from Harvard, Nebraska. I got to meet Chris because of LifeVantage. We didn't know each other before this business, but she has been an awesome, awesome teammate, and I can't wait for you to hear a little bit from Chris. She's an up-and-coming leader on our team. Super excited for you to listen to Chris. Go ahead and unmute yourself, Chris.
Can you hear me?
I can, loud and clear. Take it away, girl.
Hi. Thanks, Shauna, for inviting me to talk tonight. My name's Chris Cedarstein, and I'm a registered nurse. I've been in nursing for over 40 years. So I went into nursing because I wanted to help people, basically. I think a lot of us as nurses, we feel like becoming a nurse is almost more of a calling than a career choice. It's just something that we really feel like we need to do to help people to be the best version of themselves, especially those who are ill or elderly. So I've always really enjoyed being a nurse for the most part. It's been a good ride for me. So for the past 20 years plus, probably, I've actually been in nursing management. So I've been the director of nursing at Harvard Rest Haven for, I was for about 16 years. And then I also have a degree in Human and Social Service Administration. So I was feeling pretty burnt out with the nursing, actually. So then I decided to be the administrator for 4 years. And that was great fun. But I kept having this burnout going on. I really just wasn't content with what I was doing. And so I went to Central Community College, and I worked there for 4 years as the program coordinator for the nursing assistant medication aid courses. And I loved, teaching the direct care staff and all, but again, just discontent. And so went back to the nursing home, and I'm currently the DON there again, which I've been back there for about a year. LifeVantage came to me, and my friend Jamie Williams, she grew up at my house, basically. I call her my bonus daughter. She's a good friend of all 3 of my daughters who are about her age. And Jamie has always been so very health conscious, and she's a bright, intelligent, articulate, wonderful young lady. And she just was so passionate and so enthusiastic about these products that she really sold me on trying them. And I became probably more in love with the products than the thought of having a business at the time. But I did enroll with a distributor pack, with a platinum pack, because right away I wanted to try all the products. So it was a good value, so I did that. As time has gone on, I have really begun to recognize what an opportunity this business actually is. I feel like, I guess, in my current position, I went into nursing because I want to help people. And it used to be a very patient-centered, resident-centered care environment, in healthcare, but it's gotten to be so financially motivated. It's more dollar-oriented. I don't go to work and feel like I'm helping people on a personal level. And I hate that. I don't, there are things that I actually almost feel are morally wrong with our healthcare system today. So I just get more and more unhappy with it. And so when I recognize that, through LifeVantage, I truly can help people in a much greater way, a lot more people, in a profound way, on the personal level. We can find their pain and we can help them with that, both with the products and with their wealth if they choose to go that way. So I've just gotten really excited about it last several months, actually. And this month has been a great month. Last month was good. This month has been really great. I've had multiple conversations daily with potential distributors from Florida and New York and Texas, and it's just been really exciting. And I do have to say that I did learn a lot from Shauna this month. She's helped me a great deal. And I actually got to sit with her through a meeting with a very hard-nosed accountant who was there with a potential distributor of ours who he was a tough one. He he countered every question with a question, and he was kind of hard-nosed and all scrunchy faced. And as Shauna just continued to answer the questions and just stay in her belief, she really, within 10 minutes into the conversation, I would say he was pretty relaxed, kind of kicked back and nodding and listening. And so I just am so excited about developing that bulletproof belief that I think I have. I'm getting there, absolutely. And I'm really excited that LifeVantage is an option for me, or an alternative to what I'm doing. And I totally do plan to make that my plan A rather than my part-time gig, because it does get difficult, fitting it in the nooks and crannies of your day all the time. But it's exciting stuff. So we have a lot going on this month also. March Madness, of course, is one of the big things that's going on. I'm not going to talk a lot about that because I know Shauna is, at the end of the meeting when we do the drawings and all of that. So the Physique Challenge, the Physique Body Transformation Challenge, is another thing that's really exciting right now in our company. It started March 1st and it runs through May 31st. It's a 90-day challenge, but you can still register and get peeps registered if you have them that want to transform their bodies. It's been a really good thing. I didn't do this last year, but I did jump on board with it this year, and I've got some friends who are doing it with me, and it's been a lot of fun. But it really is a great way to introduce people to the business and to the products if they're not necessarily ready to sit down and listen to NRF1 or NRF2 information. If they want to lose weight and transform their body, they will listen to the information, and it's just a good way to get your foot in the door and talk to people. So I think it's been really good. And you still do have time, guys. You can still enroll people till the 31st. So even if they're late, they can still jump on board. I think it's been good for me. And I've lost 10 pounds, you guys. In 3 weeks, I've lost 10 pounds, 2 inches in my upper waist and 1 in the lower waist. So that's awesome too. Some of the events coming up, we do have team training that's coming up. That's so very important to attend. The next team training will be May 4th. It's in Grand Island from 9 in the morning till noon. It's also available virtually. So if you don't live in the area, if you're in New York or Texas, Florida, and you can't get there, it will be offered virtually, so you'll be able to watch it. September 7th then is the next one, and it's also 9 to noon at Bosselman's Center in Grand Island. Then December 7th, there's another training. It's a training just like the other ones, but it will be a little later in the day because we're also going to do a Christmas celebration with it. So that's a great one to come to so we can all celebrate together. Then there's the Elite Academy in July 19th through the 20th. So important to get to those academies, those elite academies, if you've not been to one. I have actually been to 2, and they're just game changers. It's such an incredible, just everything about it. What do I want to say? The atmosphere, it's just very festive and very fun, and you get a chance to meet the elite distributors. They will sit down and talk with you. Usually your enrollers will try to introduce you to them so that you can talk to them, ask them questions. They're just real people that will sit down and answer any question you have. Who better to learn from than those who have already done what we're trying to do, right? And also corporate staff are running around, and they'll just pull up a chair and sit down and talk to you also. And that's so exciting to get to know the people that are running this company, to really realize that this is a real thing and they're amazing. So if you can get there, I just highly recommend it. They also say that it will cut 18 months off of your learning curve as far as learning the business. So it's well worth the investment to get there. And then October 3rd through the 5th, there's another Elite Academy in Long Beach. So try to get there if you can. Local events, they're always listed on your team Facebook page. If you access the events tab, there'll be a weekly schedule of events under there, and they'll all be listed. So you always want to make sure that you hit the I'm going button when you go there, so that if there's any changes in the lineup or updates, you'll get them. If you don't, you won't, and then you don't want to be inviting guests to a meeting that might be changed. So make sure you do that. We do have a lot of new distributors, and I think that's awesome. So we want to make sure that everyone knows where to find the Take, Tell, and Attend system. It's housed under the Learning tab in that same area on the team Facebook page. So make sure that along with getting everybody started, that they know where they can go there. I'm really excited about that training system because I have teammates, folks on my team that don't live in the same town, or we can't always get together. We work opposite shifts, and that gives them the opportunity to go at their own convenience and go through that training program, and so that when we are together, we can answer questions. And I just think it works really well. So incentive trips, there is the Ireland incentive trip. I think you can still qualify through April 30th, correct? I probably don't have enough points to get there at this point, but never say never. I'm going to keep working at it, right? Pacesetter programs are still going on. If you're a new distributor and you hit the rank of Pro 2 in the first month, there's a $100 bonus for that. You can, if you hold it for another month, you also get another bonus incentive to move on into Pro 3 then. If you get Pro 3 within the first 90 days, then there's incentives for that. I think that's $250. And if you hold that for the next month, it's $250 more. And it just goes on up into the Pro 3. They really do, I feel like, try to reward us for good behaviors and moving up through the ranks. And I really love that about this company too. I don't know if I missed anything there, Shauna, but
I think you got it. You guys, I'm so proud of you, Chris. And guys, who on here is absolutely terrified of doing Zoom? Because Chris is like, oh my gosh, I can't even believe you're making me do this. And so, Chris, I just want to tell you, you did such a good job. This is what being a leader looks like, right? Is just saying yes, even though you're fearful. And you are so sincere and amazing. I appreciate you.
Thank you.
Thank you. You're awesome. Guys, I can't wait for you to hear our next speaker. Sarah Reichstein, I know, is driving in the car. And so this is true testament of you can be a busy mama and do this business and have a big team. And Sarah is a Pro 5 on her way to Pro 6 and going to talk to us a little bit about her journey. I can't wait for you guys to hear. Sarah, take it away, hon.
Hey, everyone. I hope y'all can hear me. I have pulled over and took 4 boys in to get a snack, and they are just waiting for me to get done. So hopefully it's a little bit quieter in here. So I will tell you, my journey on LifeVantage has been, in my opinion, absolutely amazing. When Cassie Teal made the comment of, I didn't find LifeVantage, LifeVantage found me, I really didn't get that until probably the last 2 months. And Shauna and I have been talking a little about this. So to give you an idea of how this all went down, in October of 2016, I was having a conversation with a really good friend of mine. And I told him, you know what, I just feel like I don't help anybody. And I was currently in corporate America. I was managing a medical office in Grand Island, Nebraska. And honestly just thought that I kind of had the world by its balls, really. I thought I had this fantastic job. I have these 3 amazing boys. At the time, they were when I started, 14 and 12 and 10. So all 3 play traveling baseball. All 3 do traveling basketball. They all do football. They golf. They hunt. They fish. You name it. It is a frat house to a T. So I was working corporate America. A friend calls me and says, hey, come to Wine Styles with me and have a drink and listen to something. And of course, I just chuckled and was like, you know what? Renee, I will come and listen, but I'm not getting involved in anything. And to this day, I cannot thank Renee Grounds enough for inviting me to that meeting. Because what I didn't realize is that 18 months later, after saying yes to this opportunity and after LifeVantage found me, I was in a bit of a pickle. I had a new physician that bought in, and I was in that office for almost 10 years. I was hired full-time at 4 days a week, and it was perfect. I worked Monday through Thursday, and I had Friday, Saturday, Sunday with my boys. I had the summers, 3-day weekends every summer with them. I could still get my stuff done. I was able to go to their baseball games, and it was a perfect world, in my opinion. Well, then they drop a bombshell on me of, you need to be here 5 days a week. And you want to talk about hurting somebody to their core. I did not realize that that actually truly happened. Like, you hear those stories, but you really don't think that that actually truly happens until it happens to you. And I remember coming out of that meeting, and never once had I shed a tear in that office in almost 10 years. And I was completely sobbing. I was out of control sobbing. And I remember one of my girls coming in and just wrapping her arms around me in my office and just telling me, it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. And they had no idea what was going on. And you know what? They were right. It was going to be okay. I took the weekend and I thought about it. And I thought, there is never going to be a day in my life that I'm going to look back at this and I'm going to say, geez, I sure wish I would have worked for the office more and spent more time away from my family. And it was that point where I decided, I was literally sitting on our back deck watching our boys swim, shooting hoops in the pool. And I thought, what on earth am I doing? Like, this is what I need to be doing. So I turned in my resignation that Monday morning. And I'm not going to lie, I was kind of a turd about it. I thought, you want me to give you 5 days a week, I'm giving you 30 days and I'm out. And the kicker with all this is that it took me probably 8 months to realize the reason it hurt to my core was because I gave that office everything. I gave them absolutely everything I had, and my family got the leftovers. That's what they got from me. And I remember changing my boys' schedules, finagling everything, making sure that everything worked for the office first, and then everything else came after that. And had I not found this business, I wouldn't have had a choice, you guys. I would have had to have made that decision to work 5 days a week, pull more time away from my family, and my family would have gotten even less than seconds. I don't even know what that is, but it breadcrumbs. They would have literally got breadcrumbs from me, and it wasn't fair. So now I've got a 16-year-old, a 15-year-old, and a 12-year-old, and when they need something, it's amazing. My mornings now look like I get up, I don't even shower while I cook breakfast, and I drop one kid off to school, and then I go work out, and then I have the opportunity to call my dear friend and say, hey, you know what, you just had twins. Let me come over and hold the babies while you go shower. I get to go to my niece's games and spend all day there with her if I want to. I get to go hang out with my dad at a bar who had a massive stroke and can't hardly speak. And while my mom goes to dinner meetings, you know, I get to day drink all I want. I answer to nobody. And if I had not said yes to this opportunity, that is not where I would be. So when I say there is a higher power up there looking over you, I'm telling you, it could not be further from the truth, because the simple fact is, if I wouldn't have started this business 18 months ago, I would still be in corporate America, and I would be working 5 days a week and just doing the grind every single day, and I would not have my time with my children, and I would not have the choices that I have now.
I love you, Sarah Reichstein. Thank you for inspiring everyone. I think you're incredible, but I have one question for you. So did you ever really think when you said yes in Wine Styles, well, you didn't say yes in Wine Styles. I want you all to know that it took this woman 3 times of listening at different meetings to say yes to the opportunity, okay? So don't ever give up on those people that you want to join you, okay? Be persistent about it, because they will, if they see it and the time is right, they will still say yes, just like Sarah. But Sarah, you wouldn't have been able to say yes because you wouldn't have had something financially that you felt comfortable enough to leave your job, correct?
Absolutely. Yeah, I wouldn't have had to have stayed with that job to help take care of my family. But since this was coming in residually and I could work it as I wanted to and still be able to have my time with the kids, still be able to help chat out and do those things, it was a no-brainer for me. It really was.
Yeah. And now you have choices, which is incredible. And I think that's what every single person that joins the business of LifeVantage, in the back of our mind, no matter what choice we're looking for, whether that's time or money or impact or make a difference, whatever that may be, I think we're all looking for choices. And Sarah, you found the opportunity to have choices while being here at LifeVantage. I appreciate you, friend. Sarah is running her tail off for Pro 6 right now, and I'm super excited to help her get there. You're a blessing to me and this team, Sarah. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. We love you.
Okay, guys, so I'm going to take it over here and bring us to the end before Bridget does our drawing. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about, well, let me ask you this. What comes to your mind? Put in the chat box. We have a chat box. I think you can all probably see people chatting here. I want you all to put in the chat box something that comes to mind when you hear the word sales. What comes to your mind when you hear the word sales? What do you think of? How does that make you feel, right? Do you love to hear that word? Do you not love to hear that word? Because I'm kind of guessing that most of us don't really love that. Yeah, pushy, pressure. I'm already seeing words come in, right? Nope. I don't like the word. Okay, guys, because I'm guessing most of us go almost into a spiral of anxiety when we hear the word sales, let alone if we think we have to do sales, right? I think that is so common, and so we get so full of fear, I think, when that happens. Most people are actually terrified by it. Yeah, watch out, pushy, pressure, more of those same words. Guess what? We don't have to be that way, but I will tell you that we all have to do sales in this business to grow a business, whether we like it or not. But I'm also here to tell you that every single day we're being sold to, and we're making sales decisions every single day, hundreds of times a day, right? When you walk into a store and choose to buy something, when somebody calls you on the phone, when you look at an advertisement, like we're being sold to hundreds of times a day. Sometimes it feels really comfortable and we don't even know what that we're being sold to though, right? Like when you go purchase something, like at the store, grab something off the shelf, you were sold that at one point in your life. That's why you're buying it, but it maybe didn't even feel uncomfortable to you. So what's the difference between feeling pressure and pushy and the yuck of sales to the not, right? Like, isn't that interesting to think about? Like what is it? But the fact of the matter remains, we all have to sell products and sell ourselves, right? If we want to grow this business in LifeVantage. So we have to become comfortable with this word, sales, okay? I'll just be honest with you. And sometimes we try and cover it up and say, we're just sharing. And it's true, we are just sharing. We're just sharing information. But the fact of the matter is we have to invite, we have to educate, and we have to ask, right? Or it's never gonna work. Y'all agree with that? Scared that they will say no, absolutely. Okay, so I wanna talk to you about some specifics because I think that it comes down to belief. Chris actually brought it up. She said, Shauna has bulletproof belief. And it's true, I do. If you sat down with me, nobody can really shake me, even that scary accountant that we talked to this week who was scrunchy faced, and she's right. He was like coming at me, right? But I just stayed strong because I was like, nobody's gonna shake me. I have bulletproof belief in what these products are capable of. I have bulletproof belief of what this team is capable of and what they can be capable of if they say yes. 100%. So I think that it comes down to, do you have belief in this product? And I know all of you would say yes, okay? That's why you joined. But do you really, like, truly think that everyone on this planet needs to hear about these products? Because if you did, you would not come across salesy, I promise you. You would come across this passionate. And we call that posture in LifeVantage. We call that you have posture. The more posture you have, the more passionate you seem, and the less salesy you seem. But it all starts with belief. So if you don't have belief in our products, like to that point, then you need to go find more information about the products, listen to more stories, help more people, okay? What about, are you someone, let's be honest, okay? Let's be honest, let's put it out here. Let's be honest to yourself and let's be honest to this team. Are you someone who is scared to ask someone to join you in the business? Are you? And it's okay if you are, but I will tell you that comes down to belief in our team and belief in yourself. Because if you truly believed in this team and yourself, you would have no problem saying, come with me, because this is amazing. It's going to be amazing for you too. Again, that's posture, right? And that is passion. Because 100% the top enrollers, like John Garner killing it this month, right? The top enrollers, it's not that he's better in sales than any of us, okay? He is not better in sales than any of us. Sorry, John, I might be better than you in sales. John and I are super competitive with each other. But here's what he is. He's bulletproof. He is bulletproof about what this company has and what these products are because he has educated himself. But I will also tell you, it's not just the learning, it's the practice. It is the practice. The top enrollers have such high belief that they utilize their team until they're bulletproof themselves. Okay, that's just what happens. A couple of specific examples more recently, I want to talk about, like, does anybody, like, tell me, just write the word invite in the chat box. Do you feel salesy sometimes when you invite? If you do, write the word invite. I'm just curious how many people do. But I want to tell you a little story. So I had a gentleman call me up the other day and he said, you know what? He said, every time I start talking about Protandim or anything Protandim related, I start feeling like a used car salesman and I don't know how not to. Well, this particular gentleman happens to be a farmer. And I just started giggling and I said, okay. I said, if you came across something really cool about farming or tried something new that really worked for you to help your yield or help your planting or made it go faster or just made it easier, like when you went to coffee with your farm buddies or, you know, when you were around them, would you share that with them because you wanted to help them? He's like, well, sure. And I said, and what does that sound like? And he very easily said, well, hey, I just tried this out in the field and it worked really well for me. Would you want to hear a little bit about it? Because I'm happy to share. I said, say that. Could you not say that? And I said, how come that seems so natural to you? And he said, because I'm comfortable. I'm comfortable with farming. I'm not quite. And I said, so what you're saying is you're not quite comfortable with our products. He said, yeah. And I said, so just say, I want to share. And when they say, what is it? That's when your team swoops in, right? Like just find something like, for example, I'm going to give you one other example. So about a year ago, I discovered aminos instead of soy sauce. By the way, if you're not using them, you should. But that's what happened, right? I found aminos instead of soy sauce. So I literally was calling everyone I knew, like my friends who is health conscious, right? And I was like, oh my gosh, have you heard about aminos? If you haven't heard about aminos, you should check out aminos. And they're like, what's aminos? I don't know. Here's a link. Guess how many people bought aminos just because I said you should take a look at aminos? Everyone in my world right now has changed that I shared that with. And I got nothing from it. But it was comfortable because it was something I was comfortable with and passionate about it. So just because you are making a commission does not mean it's not important to share, okay? Another thing that I want to talk about really quick is social media. Because who likes their friends who looks like a billboard on social media? No one, right? No one. We all hate that. So on this team, we surely don't want to be that, okay? So I want you all to take an audit. If you use social media to talk about LifeVantage or products at all or opportunity at all, here's a quick audit that I want you to do. I want you to go back and I want you to look at your last 20 posts. And if five or more, so more than 5, are about LifeVantage products or opportunity, then you're probably being seen as salesy. Okay? It's not that we can't talk about like education, stories, you know, build a little curiosity, but if we're doing it and not doing anything else, guess what our friends see? Only that, and you're gonna be looked upon as, well, that's weird. Because I'm here to tell you, I have adapted a philosophy in conversations before commissions every time, right? We shouldn't go talk to somebody with the intent of, I want to get this person, right? That should not be the intent. But how many times, think about it, I mean, be honest with yourself. How many times have you like, oh my gosh, I'm going to reach out to them because they would be the best person for my team? And that's how you go about it. Most of the time, those conversations don't end well, correct? In my world, they certainly haven't when I went in with that attitude. But when I go in with the attitude of, how can I help them? So go into the conversation with the intent of, how can I help this person? Because guess what you're doing then? You're asking questions, you're having a conversations, you're getting to know their pains, and then we can fill their pains. And nothing about that is salesy. Nothing about that. That is you being a blessing to that person, right? So I think that there's some things, and I think it has to go down to conversations. It has to go down to relationships that we talk about all the time, but it has to go down to your belief. Belief in your products, belief in yourself, and belief in this team. If you feel like you're lacking in one area, dive deep into that area, please. If you need to feel more comfortable with this team, make sure you're on these team calls. Make sure you're getting to events. Make sure you're getting to opportunity meetings to meet this team. Okay? If it's yourself, you've got to do a little self-reflection and figure out what's going on. Okay? Because I will tell you that's probably the one it is for most of us. And the way you get better at that is practice. Practice, practice, practice. Meaning you have to have conversations to get better at it, because I guarantee you, John Garner, give me a thumbs up so everybody can see John's face. John heard me at my first meetings. And John, give me a thumbs up if you think I've gotten a little bit better at my meetings today than I did my first ones. Yeah. It's because of practice, because I've said it and done it 1,000 times now. But if I never did it, I would never get better. So I will tell you, I was horrendous in my first time. I shook like crazy. So that's it. That's what I wanted to talk to you guys about sales. It's important to not have a yucky feeling about sales, because guess what? I've been in sales businesses my whole life. If all of you don't know my story, I've owned 4 other businesses, not network marketing, and they've all been sales businesses. But they've all been extremely successful because of the relationships that we've built and the passion that we had behind the service that we were providing for people. So that's what you should have here. That's what I have here. That's what John has here. That's what Bridget, that's what Sarah, that's what Chris, that's what we all have. And we all continue to build our belief every single day. So March Madness, let's end with this. So March Madness is still going on. John Garner is still in the running for the big top prizes for the company, up to $5,000. I'm super excited. There's several of us in the company consolation bracket. I'm in the consolation bracket. I know several of us are, meaning we can all earn $25,000 in cash from the company. But here's what's cooler. You guys on a smaller scale, the people that have earned points can earn prizes from this team. And so everybody that has earned a point has gotten an entry into the drawing Bridget is about to do. But I'm here to tell you that this is not over, guys. We go till next week, okay? So you can still earn points. And here's what I want to tell you. This means every single person that you have been talking to in the last 6 months, okay? In the last 6 months, if you've been talking to them, now's the time to call them and say, there has never been a better time to join me. Because you can save $50 off your start kit. That basically means you're getting your business for free. You get to buy a business pack and take all of the products and start helping people and start earning commissions. I always like to use the tagline, write this down. I always use the tagline of, you can start profiting from sharing your story. I say that all the time because I like that so much better than saying make money or earn commissions, but it's so true because so many of our customers have stories on these products. So we can say, now has never been a better time. You can get started for free in the business. You get to try more products and you get to start profiting by sharing your story. So I challenge all of you to go out and have as many conversations as you possibly can this week with that type of conversation, because you're doing them a favor by saving them $50. Because guess what? If they start on April 1st, they're paying $50 more. It's just the way it is, right? And then you get some points in the bucket, and you get your name in the bucket, and you get to win free stuff. And I want to tell you this week we are going to announce the actual points along with people's name of who have earned points so far, because as you all know, the top 4 point earners that earn above 3 points are in the big prize drawing. So that would be the Elite Academy tickets to Kansas City to get a free ticket to go, but also the top point earner will win a hotel room paid for, all expense paid hotel room in Kansas City. And just so you know, John Garner, myself, and the Norries are not eligible for the top points. We're not going to let ourselves win. So y'all have such an amazing shot at this. So I'm so excited. So Bridget, why don't you unmute yourself and go ahead and draw for this week's winner.
Awesome. Good job, you guys. So good to hear from all of you girls. You did such a great job. Chris, Sarah, Shauna, you guys all killed it tonight. Excited. So here we go. Who's going to be our winner this week? Angela Carr. Woohoo! Way to go, Angela. She's right there. Yay! Congratulations, Angela. So at the end of the month, everybody will be getting their prizes for the drawings that we got. So thank you, everybody. Anything else? Okay. Everybody have a great week and share, and we will see you next week.